Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. We're joined by Bloomberg's equities reporter Joe Easton. Joe, hi. Mercedes is considering withdrawing its least expensive cars from the US market. This on Trump tariff day.
Yes, Mercedes says it's pulling the entry-level models like the GLA sports utility vehicle. That's as part of its broader tariff contingency plans. So very much on topic with what we've been looking at in terms of the US tariffs news, and we are seeing continued weakness in that sector today. Mercedes down another 1.4%, but pretty much broad declines. Volkswagen slipping around 2%, as is Porsche, BMW as well. So Mercedes essentially just adjusting their plans in terms of what they're selling because of the tariffs that are going to come in from the US. And then we also had Continental, the parts maker, warning yesterday that the tariffs are going to hurt its volumes. Its margins are coming down as well, so really negative. That one down another 2.5%, feeding through into peers. Yet another weak session for autos today.
Hims & Hers Health says it's broadening its weight loss offerings, and Joe, shares are responding. I've got a website open. There's a number of different treatments in here, hair loss, but also some other areas as well that they focus on.
Yeah, exactly. So Hims & Hers, this is a retail platforming site, so it's for healthcare, some of the products that you mentioned there. Now, they are saying that they're going to broaden their weight loss offering, starting to sell drugs like Zepbound, which is made by Eli Lilly. Now, this is interesting because it is really a platform that opens up the obesity drug market to a wider population. And actually, we're seeing Novo Nordisk declining around 3% following this news. It has actually been pretty market moving. But also worth noting that US biotech was absolutely slammed into the close of trading in the US yesterday. A lot of that seems to actually be stemming from news that Trump and Elon Musk, up to their old tricks again, cutting more staff at the US Department of Health and Human Services. So we saw US biotech stocks plunging yesterday, and today in Europe, the pharma sector, by far the worst performing, we're down around 2% across the index. Names like Novartis, Bayer, Sanofi, all of them down more than 3% today.
Yeah, uncertainty about what it will mean for the regulatory landscape in terms of pharma and biotech in the US. And you also have to think about Trump tariffs. If they end up hitting the pharmaceutical sector, there are very close links between the US and Europe, and different specializations in different parts of the world when it comes to pharmaceuticals. So that's sort of also part of that story. Just lastly, though, there is an interesting bit of M&A. Greencore gobbling up the food maker Bakkavor. Is it a tasty deal?
It's a delicious deal, yes. So Greencore, as you say, buying Bakkavor. Now, Bakkavor is kind of one of those companies that operates in the shadows. They actually make a lot of the sandwiches that you get in those meal deals at Tesco on your lunch break, and also make microwave meals, so like the lasagnas and that kind of thing, but sell them to companies like Tesco and the other supermarkets. So Greencore, an Irish company, coming in, buying Bakkavor for around £1.2 billion. That is a lot of ready-made lasagnas, isn't it, for £1.2 billion? But the price is 85 pence in cash, and also a proportion of Greencore shares. So we're seeing Greencore rising today. I think it was up 6%, just double-checking. We are up around by a similar amount. That is on Bakkavor. Greencore actually coming down very slightly, but Bakkavor shares really rallied over the past month or so on news that Greencore coming in, and again, investors getting another payday with the stock up 6%. Greencore heading the other way, down 0.7% today.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.